Hello, and welcome to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Grow West, the Technology Council of West Kentucky, KY Innovation, and local partners Sprocket Innovation in Paducah and the Kentucky Innovation Station in Madisonville. So, I want to start something this week that's going to take us really a couple of months even to get through. But I came across a article the other day, and it was talking about the top 10 cybersecurity mistakes that small businesses make. And I'm always looking for topics. I like multi-part series because, well, honestly, I'm always trying to come up with topics each week. And I thought it was actually a really nice list. Now, if I made the list, would I do something a little bit different? Yeah, it's possible. Maybe we would have eight that were the same versus 10, or maybe there's one that's number 11. I would have made it number 8, whatever it might be. It's a pretty good list. And what's really important about it is that they're all true. They're all mistakes that small businesses make. And there's little things that we can do to uh, well, correct these mistakes, make it so that these mistakes don't have as much of an impact on our organizations. So I thought it would be important, it would be helpful. So each week I will go through, talk about one of those items that's on the list, and talk about what we can do to fix it. How can we address that specific item? So we're going to begin that today. What are those top 10 items? Let's look at the first one. The first one is lack of awareness of cybersecurity. Now, you've heard me talk a lot about cybersecurity awareness training, and that's part of this. But it's much more than that. It is it is understanding how your business fits into that equation. And let me give an example. A few weeks ago, months ago, we talked about the Russia Ukraine war and how Russia was targeting the United States more, or potentially targeting more, and the CISA has a shields up to where we need to be cyber aware, and all of that is true. What I've heard from many small businesses is that doesn't matter to us. We're a small business. Nobody cares about us. So I don't have to do anything different than what I have been doing. Now, part of that's true. Part of that's true is that Russia is not targeting most small businesses in West Kentucky because we don't matter in the grand scheme of things. But since cyber attacks are increasing overall, then the number of attacks that are going to impact our business are increasing as well. So absolutely, we need to do more. Ransomware attacks are going up. That is not in dispute. So how are we trying to protect our organization, our businesses from ransom attacks? All of these things are part of that. So what do we do? How do we try to address some of those pieces? How do we make it better? Simply put, how do we make that lack of security awareness better in our organization? Number one, gain buy-in from leadership. It starts with our executives. It starts with our senior leadership. It starts with our board of directors. We're going to have to get buy-in from that top level first. If our employees are looking around at our leadership and our leadership's not doing anything, then if they don't care, why should I care? Why should I care? Whatever type of security controls that you need, whatever type of security awareness training that you need, whatever type of personnel that you might need to hire, all of that's going to start with leadership. So first thing we have to do is we have to get leadership buy-in, very first. Second, make cybersecurity part of everyone's role. Make it part of everyone. Whether you're the accountant, the tech, the janitor, the admin, the salesperson, whatever that it is that you're doing, there's an aspect of cybersecurity that can and probably should play a role. So make that part of everyone's role. Make it all the way up to the senior executives as well. Make security part of everybody's role. Third is to understand the threats. A big part of a big problem that we see often in cybersecurity is that we don't understand the threats. We don't know who that we're trying to protect our business from. We don't know who's actually targeting us or even how they're targeting us. So if we're going to um, uh, talk about protecting our businesses, then we got to understand who we're protecting it from. So understanding the threats is a big one. And honestly, I could spend a month talking about just how to understand the threats because that is such a complicated piece that so many organizations miss. Coach and promote mindfulness. So what do I mean by mindfulness? Actually, mindfulness being the opposite of carelessness. It is Friday. Email comes in late in the day and we don't want to deal with it. So we just kind of, yes, fine, and be done with it. Well, did you actually look at that email? Did you actually look to make sure that that was a real email and not a phishing email? The bad guys, those threat actors know that on Friday afternoons we're ready to go home. So they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to take advantage that you're busy and that you're doing things in and that maybe you're not looking at emails as carefully as you should. So coaching and promoting that mindfulness is certainly something that is going to be helpful. Another one is to offer incentives. Offer incentives. If if you're able to identify 10 spam messages, what does that get you? Maybe there's some reward. Maybe you get, if you identify a potential security issue, then we can reward you by having a half a day off. Um, Whatever that might be. If your office goes a whole month without falling for a phishing email, maybe it's an internal test phishing email, then you get a pizza party. No, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be anything massive. I mean, it could be a free coffee mug, it could be a free shirt, but incentivizing and promoting that the correct behavior. We are so quick to punish people if they are doing the wrong thing that sometimes it would be nice to promote and encourage the right thing. That not too many years ago, I remember there was a local police department that was pulling people over and giving them a gift certificate for wearing their seatbelt. And I tell you, if I got pulled over, I would assume I'm getting in trouble. I've never been pulled over and given a gift certificate before, but they were encouraging and promoting the right behavior. That works for folks. They people don't want to be yelled at all the time for doing things wrong. Encouragement is always good. And then the last thing that I'll talk about today is that remember this is a journey. We don't expect that every business is going to accept and understand that cybersecurity is important at the same level today as they will understand that in a year. The hope is that we are going to continue to understand and grow in our cybersecurity maturity. There's maturity models. We've talked about maturity models for a lot of different things. There's security, cybersecurity maturity models. So I think that it is really important to understand that this is a journey. That we add some controls this year, we add more next year. I mean, it's an investment. Security is an investment, and we want to continue to do those investments over time. How do we do that? Well, there's some of these steps that are here. There are several other steps. We think about return on investment. There's a lot of different pieces that go into this issue, but understanding that this is there's not a device that you can buy tomorrow and say, "All right, I'm there. We're secure. everything's good to go. I don't need to do anything else. It just doesn't work that way. So understanding that this is going to be a progression over time, that this is a journey, that's a big first step. All right. So this is number one on our list. Number one is lack of awareness of cybersecurity in general. We're not talking about just personnel. We're talking about understanding that security is an issue overall. We talked about a few things that you can do to help improve that. We'll look at the second item on our list next week when you join us back here on 10 at 10. Thank you for today, joining us today, and see you next week. Thank you. Bye.